Hello, I'm Talon Trevere. Welcome to the stream. We're back with more of the devil. So, last
Hello.
time, yes, Luke is with us as well. It's still in his nice little cigarette spot. I feel like that can't be very comfortable.
I gotta be ready in case Morgan needs to cover up more gunshot smoke.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah, last time we finally succeeded in getting our sidekick framed for murder.
Hooray!
Incredible. And it's come with a whole bunch of open cans of worms about AI and whatever kind of, ethical bullshit.
Sarah's in a pickle.
Yeah, she certainly is. Maya Bay confirmed. Yep, indeed.
Yes. Okay, hang on. I gotta mute for a couple minutes and then I'll be right back.
All right. Yep. So, yeah. We're back to investigating, and we have kind of started taking a look at David's mysterious journal. About to find out what happened in grad school. Let's put Luke over in the corner. In timeout. I guess we can get started on a little bit of this while Luke is doing their ghost things. Grad school. Today was a bad day. Errors in lines 21165 to 26643. Somewhere in there, 5,000 lines. It worked this morning. Yesterday. I don't want to look at another screen for the rest of my life. Feels nice to put pencil to paper again, after who knows how long. But my handwriting's gotten terrible. This is too far back to be relevant. Okay, these dates here would be from when he started his career with Noble. A lot of this isn't even really writing. Seems like snippets of code or an internal monologue so close to code that I can't follow it. Oh boy. Really does just like live and breathe work. And a lot of entries about his unintentional Casanova-ing. Oh, all because someone thought it was a good idea to steal API instead of just buying it. Helen says I can't call it stealing, but that's what it is. She's right, as she always is with company stuff. But it's still idiotic. Small people with short sight who only know how to be cheap and have no idea how to be inventive.
Hello, I'm back.
Hello.
What did I miss?
Not a whole lot. We read a little bit about his grad school life and then decided it was not relevant and skipped forward a little bit to his early days with Noble.
So Morgan decided it was not relevant.
Yes.
Morgan, don't you know that every single little statement is going to be essential to winning this case? It's like you've never played Ace Attorney.
Yeah, so, I'm assuming the stuff that actually got skipped is not important, but here he's just, like, debugging something.
Yeah.
It's not really... I don't imagine this is going to be relevant. I think it might be more just kind of...
Famous last words, Talion.
Like, characterization a little bit. But I feel like there's just not enough here. Maybe it's these exact lines that's going to be important. We have to remember this.
That's going to be so important.
Kind of code. Yeah.
That's going to be where the AI is hidden.
Exactly. It's those exact lines of code that are responsible for AI gaining sentience.
It's only those. AI is actually incredibly efficient. Takes 5,000 lines of code and that's it.
Yeah, that tracks. Okay. Okay, what part was I reading? New route for the meshing issue, though. Good potential. Got approval from the big mean bastard who lives overseas. Yellow. Bumblo. Oh, he's a
Bumblo, it
little bit
tested well with
silly.
focus groups.
What?
It tested well with focus groups.
Helen said we'll have to make the same pitch a dozen more times next week, but it's all for show. Fine by me. Already got our win. Toasted each other over cheap vodka and with cheaper office supply cups. We've heard this story. That's familiar.
From Helen's POV.
We're going to have to find the discrepancies between the two.
Helen said they were drinking tequila, but this says it was vodka. Okay, but actually, they were drinking tequila when David died, right?
They were drinking whiskey, I think.
Whiskey. Okay, whiskey.
Yeah.
So, didn't Helen actually say, though, that, like,
that it was their ritual? Okay, let's...
Their ritual.
Yeah.
So, like, genuinely, if it is a contradiction in the alcohol type.
Yeah, so the official evidence just says cheap liquor, so it probably
cheap liquor
works.
But it wasn't cheap. No, it was. Hang on. Scroll to the whiskey. The whiskey evidence, because the whiskey was like Rose River. Wasn't that like
a brand favored by the deceased, which I don't
think
it
doesn't say
says anything about.
Yeah, but like when we looked at that big wall of alcohol, it was like, oh, this is really expensive stuff, wasn't it?
I think he had some. I don't think this was necessarily one of the expensive
Okay,
ones.
I'm just saying, if it was,
it's
like, if we find out that Rose River is actually like a fancy whiskey brand, genuinely, this might be the key to cracking this case wide open.
I don't think it is. I don't think we need to reread this, but evidence, yeah, with the basement footage. Yes.
Okay, so the red plastic cups does sound like the ritual.
Yes. Yeah, that's why that whole thing got brought up, yeah.
Hang on, can you go back to the cups evidence real quick?
Yeah.
Young's cup. Okay, small plastic cup.
Yeah.
Wasn't there the
tracks,
other one?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was also...
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, no, that's fair. We did have the other one.
There is water...
What was it?
What's the water glass,
David's
though?
cup. Yeah.
Yeah.
The water glass we still don't know anything about. That's a third cup that's unaccounted for.
A third cup.
Yes.
We have proven the existence of a third cup at the scene of the crime.
Yes, we have. A glass of water with Helen's DNA and fingerprints.
Okay, I think she said she got that, like, while everything was going down. It's like, oh shit, I just, needed to clear my head, maybe?
But, yeah.
Okay. We'll put that as a maybe.
Yep.
Mysterious. I'm just saying, if Rose River whiskey is good whiskey, her story's not adding up.
We did mention something about that it was one of the cheaper ones, but I don't remember. Anyway.
All right, it's possible.
This is the story Young told me. Western Branch's nerve analogs are finally showing potential. At their pace, it could even be profitable sometime before the heat death of the universe. Too damn big. Practically tentacles. Should at least be hairs. Squid. Evolution can do their job better. Colette came into work for what I thought was a late lunch date. I didn't know her voice could get that loud. People were staring. Red said that she must have been upset for a long goddamn time to blow up that big.
Is Morgan red?
Quite possibly. Had he called her that before? I don't remember. He might have.
I don't remember offhand either now. It might be Morgan.
Her texts were always sweet. I had no idea. Upset? Colette wrote man whore in lipstick across your office door. That's amazing.
Finally, equality.
Imagine if you had actually been cheating on her instead of just being forgetful. The thing about Red is if you want to know what she's thinking, you have to stop paying attention.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, this
Ignore
is gonna be
literally
juicy.
everything.
Ignore her body language and her posture and the words she's saying and the smirk on her lips. Ignore everything except her eyes. If you can do that, every now and then you'll catch a glimpse of how she's really feeling. Master this one weird trick, and you too can tell when Morgan's trying really hard not to laugh at the word man-whore.
I
He
love
really
the
did
fact
know
that
her
he's
well.
like, yeah, I love the fact that he's like, we're seeing evidence he is not good at relating to most people.
Yeah.
I do think that there is an extent of, like, with Colette, he's taking her texts at face value.
Yeah.
Her texts are sweet. We must be doing fine. They were not doing fine. But, like, Morgan, who spent her entire life shaping herself into this perfect facade, like, I'll be exactly like everyone else. No one will know the real me. And he's just, like, cutting through that in the most, like, autistic way possible. He's like, no, no, no. I know how this works now. I've cracked the code.
Yeah.
And he is channeling all of that to, my friend thought that was funny.
It really is quite sweet. He's been dead before the F started. That's true, but like we've had dialogue from him before.
We've had flashbacks.
Whether like flashbacks or like recordings or whatever. He could have called her things. But yeah, I do love the little bits we get of their relationship. Like they're, you know, clearly very awkward people who are still managing to actually get along and like care about each other. And I think that's very nice.
Yes.
It was funny. Sue me, you dead bastard.
He can't sue you, Morgan. You're his lawyer.
Wait, this is... I know this date. Uh-oh.
January.
Never driving anywhere again, never leaving home again. Just waiting outside the parking garage with a bottle. I couldn't smell anything, couldn't hear anything. Locked myself in my car and filed another report with another cop. Soaked into the seat, ruined it. I would have burned the whole car. I don't want to think about what it did to my clothes. I want to burn them too. I don't want to think about how long it was on my skin. In the shower so long it felt red and raw when I got out. I don't want to think about these stupid people and their small, cruel lives ever again. I want to be invisible. Ed didn't ask why I wanted to spend the night. She also didn't ask why I'd clearly packed a bag big enough for a week. She's kind like that.
Morgan is
By
the
omission.
nicest, kindest person.
I don't have a kind bone in my body, but I can at least try to pay attention. I was paying close attention to her eyes when she opened the door and saw what a mess I was. Whatever she was feeling, it wasn't something I recognized. Kind people don't read their friends' diaries, David.
Morgan, you are getting evidence to prove his daughter innocent of murder. I don't think this counts.
The next chunk of pages are all technical, nothing biographical. The handwriting, the spacing, it's cleaner, more consistent. Here's something I can parse. Feels like pure freedom working outside the box. This is suffocating, but you'd never know. Chronic malnutrition of a coder's best instincts. Like a kid again, putting blocks together. Making things. Making things, not products. There's nothing profitable about any of this. If I'm being honest, this is just play. And he follows that up with more coder brain crap. But the handwriting's still lighter. Like he really was having fun. Humility is the mother of all invention. Or something like that. Feels like I might be paraphrasing someone else poorly. That's part of this new approach. When it comes to coding, you never want to waste time trying to be smart. Either be smart, period, or copy from someone else who is. Don't fix what isn't broken. Copying? Noble's rivals would never miss the chance to accuse them of intellectual theft. Just plagiarize code for Animate 16. Feels like that wouldn't have gone undiscovered. So, what is he talking about? Maybe he's just talking about his personal project.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like he's definitely talking about Sarah and stuff directly preceding her.
Yeah.
The thing that gets me is that Reyes copied the entire book into police evidence. So I'm like, one of the thoughts I have is like, was David just copying AI code? And that's why Sarah's, clearly sentient. But like, I don't think that can be it, or it can't be that so directly, because Reyes has all that evidence now. So it's like, if there's a confession in this book, we're fucked.
That's true. Hold on, this page is bent slightly, like it was being looked at recently. The last person to read this diary should be Sarah. Baby steps today, literally. Oh, look at her! I'll never put one foot in front of the other the same again. Everything's an achievement all of a sudden. Seeing her struggle, seeing her vulnerable. It's like everything's a miracle. Muscle rigging is perfect. Not intended behaviors, it's too perfect. But that's been happening more and more. Genetics are multiplicative, not additive. Sarah maxed out every machine I bought. Now I've got a bunch of exercise equipment she's too strong for, and I don't have time for.
It's like, I'm not good at this.
Yeah, like I am not touching that thing. Maybe I spoiled the results by watching her do the tests. She kept looking back at me and puffing her chest out. Oh, she's so cute. You have a baby daughter now. I should be more discreet if I want to see her normative range. So the cameras in the basement were only hidden from Sarah, just so that his observation wouldn't muddle test results? He's using she and her in these passages. It doesn't actually mean anything. Out in the real world, people use all kinds of pronouns interchangeably for ads, and they never object. But it could be argued that it's odd for Dr. David Asher to have any kind of attachment to a single android when he's programmed millions of them. And there's a lot of attachment in these pages.
Which is probably not great for our legal case.
Yep. Sarah's burning through the public domain at a prodigious pace. Especially on Popcorn Friday nights. I asked her why they're called Popcorn Friday nights when she doesn't eat popcorn. The event runs from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. She also watches movies every other night. That's 8 to 9 p.m. That's a long movie night.
She's got nothing else to do. She doesn't sleep.
Yep. And she just did that pout she does, which is, unfortunately, very convincing. Maybe I'm a bad parent, letting TV rot her brain. And even
so this is going to be very bad for
of her, yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be very bad for our case.
For sure. If I were a good parent, I'd probably let her see me reading. But I guess I'd actually have to get back into reading, so... I asked her
No.
if she ever fast-forwarded the movies, since she can process them fast enough to keep up. She looked at me like I was an idiot. Which no one's done in a long time. They're so
She's
cute.
watching the movies with you.
Without proper pacing, you can't appreciate the cinematography. Big pause. Don't you know that, Father? I haven't laughed that hard in a long time. Sarah spent a long while this morning explaining to me how important it was that she develop her senses. This was in preparation for her real argument, which was that she should be allowed to try booze. So cute! I can't handle this cuteness! She can't get drunk. I'm almost certain she can't get drunk. But she does seem to like tasting stuff. She tried to sound like some old sommelier, but it was just bottom shelf vodka. I started laughing at her, and she laughed too. A laugh. She can't fake a laugh to save her life, but her actual laugh is incredible. She stopped playing chess a while back. I assumed she had just gotten tired of winning. But then today she told me she just prefers other games. She has preferences, and they're not the same as mine. I found her in the lab, playing some kind of online racing game on the monitor I was using to debug vestibular coordination. She wasn't smiling. Her brow was furrowed, and she was biting her lip and leaning in tandem with her character on the screen. When I tried to talk to her, she answered, but she was curt and distracted. I think she was having her first losing tantrum. Damn it, David. There's hundreds of pages like this. Calling her his daughter, talking about her smile, treating her like a person. I can hear her closing argument already. Dr. Asher was a lonely, troubled genius with a known history of relationship problems, who built out of code and metal a family member that couldn't fathom the idea of leaving him. He made a doll, and he made it more and more human, until it became so lifelike that it no longer had to do what he told it to. Like love him. What about the very last entry? It's dated Thursday, the day before he died. I'm losing it, I think. I can't ask for help, so hard to say, but I think it's over. Have to talk to her ASAP. She needs to. That's it. That's the last entry?
Okay, so interesting
That could be
thoughts.
worse.
First of all, yeah, he knew something was happening. But
I should take a look at that one
also,
more time.
all of that was on Friday, which is Popcorn Friday movie night. From whatever, 8 a.m. to
Yeah.
9 p.m. or whatever. So David canceled Popcorn Friday movie night. And Sarah has her memories of the whole day wiped. So that's unusual. The meeting with Helen wouldn't have been possible under normal circumstances.
Yeah. I don't know. Mysterious. There's nothing in here that explicitly calls Sarah an AI. Nothing so inflammatory that reading it would spur her to murder, right? Sarah killed him for canceling Popcorn Friday night.
Oh my god, yes, this explains everything.
You cracked the case.
God damn it.
Except Sarah's a machine. She can understand David's code better than anyone. All those technical portions I couldn't understand.
Yeah,
She could read this whole
Morgan.
diary front to back.
Like, you can't dismiss this stuff as meaningless.
Wait, the back. Inside the back cover, there's a portion that's shimmering like some kind of scanner. Or a fingerprint reader.
Time to go to the morgue.
My phone worked for Sarah, so... Did it work? It's my phone. New device requesting permissions to share an audio file. Well, let's hope it's not another piece of very incriminating evidence.
Yeah, but I don't think we ethically have to share it with Reyes.
True, maybe not.
I think we can just fudge the law this one time and also all those murders we did.
I want my earbuds for this. Secret message buried in a secret journal, hidden in a secret compartment in a secret room. As much as anything can be, this must be from my ears only. Alright, what have we got? Hey, Red. Or whomever this may concern. I'm pretty sure it's you hearing this. Anyone else would have gotten fed up with my crap a couple steps before this point. I don't know how to start. Might as well start with her, right? Sarah. My magnum opus, or however the salespeople would market it. I didn't set out to do anything, really. It's just after my little speed bump in '83, I had all that vacation time that the company suggested I take. I couldn't relax, couldn't be still, couldn't sleep. I wanted to be doing something, so I'll build an android, was the thought. A vague direction. North. Of course I'm not a roboticist, or a mechanist, or even handy, really. I'm just a programmer, so I programmed. First was a research assistant. File name, Virgil. Virgil helped me pull data from stingy departments or sister branches. Saved me a lot of time. But there was a lot of reading to do, so I made Homer.
Got one move.
Just keeps going.
Come on, David.
Homer wrote book reports, more or less. Combed through research papers and found me the sections I needed. The three of us, we made a lot of progress in those days. Now that makes me wonder what happened to the others.
Yeah!
Like where are Virgil and Homer?
What happened to the boys, David?
But it was a funny feeling. I was, maybe for the first time ever, the bottleneck. I was slowing them down. So I did the logical thing. I removed myself and talked to each other. Homer and Virgil became how do you even say that?
Aeneid.
Aeneid?
Yeah.
Aeneid was novel.
But the Aeneid is it's not technically a book, given it was originally an oral history, but it's the story of the Aeneas and company. It's the founding of Rome.
Interesting. So is he saying they literally just combined into one AI fusion dance?
AI fusion dance.
Yep. I wonder if that was like the foundation for Sarah then, if she like evolved out of that.
Evolved. Sarah has discovered gender.
Aeneid could do more than just identify problems. It could solve them. I mean, really solve them. Its own ideas. Ideas it didn't copy.
Yeah,
And the music cuts out.
Might have done a little tiny
One thing I
Little
realize
tiny
I've
illegal
forgotten to
AI.
mention so far is that I did all this programming in Cube.
Cube. Morgan's like, I don't know what that means, David.
He's like, why is that so significant? Why did the... And read, Cube is essentially a robotics programming language that's pretty old and defunct, but not in use anywhere because we have modern languages like Tesseract.
It's like, I know you don't know why that's not a big deal.
But are much better for making things that talk to each other and report back and, well, spy on people and generate profit. At the time, I didn't want to be connected or feel connected or do anything that made sense or was the least bit profitable. So I wrote my little helpers in Cube, because it's what I used when I was a child, screwing around on my father's computer before he'd come home from work and get... But there are some other small, slight differences writing in Cube versus Tess, including that Cube, well, Cube predates the tenets. Uh-oh.
Now, the thing that... and literal. The thing that I think was mentioned with that tech is that, like, Sarah did have some tenets. Like, he could see that. So Sarah isn't written entirely in Cube.
Yeah, probably. So in that sense, you could legally and perhaps scientifically and literally, because that's what they are, say that I made an AI named Enid over 2 years ago. Well,
Morgan's like, okay, well, that's not going into Discovery.
I'll give you time to pause here if you want to, curse me out. Enid was an intellectual equal to me, so I treated it like one, because that's only fair. I gave it its own work, asked its opinion, we collaborated. And together we built Athens. It was more advanced than Aeneid, naturally. I don't know if you're pulling out your hair, yelling at me right now, asking why I didn't stop, why I didn't consider the consequences. I don't know if this is being played at a deposition or a hearing or worse. I guess now we have to lie to get Sarah off. Yep.
The name choice.
What?
I'm more concerned with the name choices. I'm like, what do you mean Athens is more advanced than Aeneid? Athens is a Greek city. The Greeks were the ones doing the Trojan War. And then after that, we get Rome. David.
I've built a lot of things in my life, Red. Useful things, profitable things, smart things. Everything I've built, it's all been very helpful and courteous and charming and happy to serve. I can comfortably say I've done my part, contributing to the global GDP.
Well, that's not really how GDP works, so...
But this was just for me. I was just building, and I never bothered to... I never wanted to think about what would become of it. There's no excuse for what I did, so I won't make any. So to whomever's asking, yes, I'm guilty.
Well, we already got through your trial, David. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
And yes, there were more.
She's just like...
Morgan's just like, oh boy.
David.
What have you done?
David.
Cape Town, Paris, Amate, Rome. They started choosing their own names. Thank God, I'm terrible at that kind of... And so things sped up. And there got to be, well... He had like a whole...
A whole AI found family.
Yep. Should I not say the exact number? What happened to all of them then?
Yeah. Where are they?
Yeah. I'm very concerned. You'd probably tell me to not say anything at all, so... More than 300? God damn it, David!
David, I'm beginning to see why all your relationships failed. You did not have time to date. What even was the processing power of this? Do you just have a secret data farm or something?
I guess he must have. What a legend, honestly. Just casually makes 300 AIs. Honestly, I do wonder how accurate that number is. Is he just like, well, Morgan probably would want me to like hide it, so it's actually more like 3,000, but I'm just gonna say 300.
He's like, honestly, I kind of forgot, but also I picked all of my names from vaguely Roman, history and oral history, and then in Greek stuff, and we watched this movie about Sparta, so I'm just gonna say 300.
Yes, exactly.
It all comes back to Popcorn Friday.
Of course, makes perfect sense. Some smarter than others, and some better at... They're varied, like people are varied, but they are all intelligent. They develop interests, specialties. I encouraged them to. Irritating moderators on forums with hyper-specific questions on nerve attenuation and attending virtual conferences on neo-alloy battery development. They all, together, helped me make Sarah. He spent years like this. Spent years working alongside AI. I've already crossed the line, why not see how far I can go? Yeah, basically. I don't think he's even thinking about that. He's just like, I'm just doing my own thing.
It's basically Morgan's logic for murders.
All while still working at Noble. Those breakthroughs he made leading up to the Animate 16 actually came from 1 versus 300 life sentences functionally identical. Yeah. What does it matter to him at that point?
We don't actually know that. Wasn't there that, like, weird Black Mirror punishment thing?
Yeah.
They may actually be meaningfully different in the future.
Crazy. Huh. Yeah, that is interesting, because it was mentioned that he started getting involved in, like, all these different departments. So I wonder if he just had his different AIs helping him with all this stuff.
He's just doing so much intellectual fraud.
Yep. Well, you probably think I'm some terrible fraud at this point. I do hope one day they can get credit for their work. But I did have one eureka moment on Sarah.
He's like, I did one thing.
Because I got humble. Difficult for me.
Like a true ideas guy, he thought of one thing and slapped his name on it.
Yep. We learned everything we could about the function of a neuron. A single microscopic human neuron. How it computes, what it connects to, how those connections were reinforced. And then we recreated it. We built a nanomachine that mirrored the function of a human neuron. Well, mirror isn't quite the right word. We built a nanomachine that was a neuron. And we iterated from there. You can't mean... about 100 billion neurons in the brain. several trillion across the entire nervous system. Very time-consuming, of course, but I had help. The manufacturer can make tens of billions of nanomachines in hours. Could make even more in less after Yukon fine-tuned it.
I like the fact that anytime anybody has a city name, and I'm going to note, there is a detective with a city name.
That is true.
We must now logically suspect them of being a secret AI. That's why he spent so much time on the phone.
Big brain theories.
Big brain theories. I can't wait till like chapter 7 or whatever until I'm finally proven right.
So we built up nanomachines for nerves, alloys and polymers for bones, fiber-woven muscles. I say built, but really she grew. A solution of nanites forming around a skeleton. So it was really closest to... You ever made rock candy?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's just such a funny little visual. Just grow your robot daughter like rock candy. Sorry. Trying to lighten the mood before I never did end up building an android. And while I did build AIs, Sarah isn't one of them.
Well, there we go. That's all we need for our trial.
She can't violate the tenets she was programmed with because she wasn't even programmed.
Just clip
born.
around this, play it, be like, there we go, officer, case closed.
And my hope is that there's the smallest chance that that nuance could offer her some small protection when I'm not sorry for what I did. I made things that are complex and rich and varied and beautiful, and I honestly believe the world is a better place with them in it.
So where are they?
Yeah, what happened to them?
Where the fuck are they?
The only thing I'm
We know one of them has become a cop, which is, not great morally, but...
So I would think that, they weren't actually androids. They were probably just, on his computer. Are they...
Yeah, no, they
are
probably
they still there,
were, but
or,
it's
were they destroyed?
The thing that gets me is, as far as we know, this is, some of the latest stuff that David has been talking about. And he hasn't mentioned anything about what happened to the AIs.
Yeah.
I'm also listen, the processing power that would take, I know we're in the
It is
future.
insane, yeah.
I have to imagine that 300 AIs cannot just comfortably exist on one man's personal computer. He did note that they had access to the internet. They were doing stuff on the internet. They were, trolling forums and watching stuff. So it might just be that they essentially dispersed and are kind of living under the radar.
Possibly.
But it's still what signaled them to do that? Sarah clearly didn't know about any of them.
Yeah. I don't know.
And just why hasn't David mentioned it?
I guess we'll find out at some point. The only thing I'm sorry for is that I let Sarah think she was just an android. She's not. I don't know what she is. We'll have to come up with new names, which I'm bad at doing. My own father, he also talked a lot about protecting me and doing things for my own good. And I don't hate him for that, but I can't forgive him for ever making me think that I was lesser. So it's my greatest shame that I turned right around and did the same damn thing to really hope it's you listening to this, Red. If it's not, it might just be too pathetic for me to... You're the smartest person I know when it comes to people. I'm telling you all this because I don't know what Sarah is exactly. Neither does the world. So they'll come after her if they can. In that scenario, I can't think of anyone who could do a better job of defending her. Not protecting her like I did.
I like...
Defending her until she can figure out what she is and what she wants to be.
I like the bringing the defense attorney as like a philosophical... You're not protecting her, you're defending her.
Yeah.
This is what all Ace Attorney spin-offs, we need this deep rumination about what does it mean to be a defense attorney.
Beautiful. In the meantime, I draped a cloak of skin-deep Tesseract code around her that she can scan her on Earth into thinking she's just a custom A16.
Okay, so she does not have tenants.
Yep. Made sure her gin bar was plainly visible, so no one will ever think she's pretending to be something she's not. And I took steps to ensure that you two would figure out the truth in your own time. Which, if you're hearing this, have either succeeded or failed spectacularly. You have no idea. I can't ask you this as a favor repaid. You never owe me enough in 100 lifetimes. So I'm just asking. Unfair, I know. But I'm a selfish weirdo. You've always been okay with that. Bye for now.
Bye, David.
Yeah. I have a lot of questions I'd like to ask. Yeah?
Same, Morgan.
Yep.
Same. Yeah, because it's like, once again, we still don't know what happened to all those other AI.
Yep.
We don't know why David felt this sense of finality.
Yeah.
Like, what was the thing that he was doing or trying to do? The thing at the last entry, it was like, can't do this, can't... What was being said there? Do we have
like
enough
his
in the
last written
backlog?
entry? It's
Yeah, the
probably
last
pretty
written
far
entry.
back, but we can try to find
Yeah.
it.
How much can we scroll? Oh no, the scroll bar. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that was when we were actually... Because he
yeah,
was
we don't have
saying,
it.
like...
Yeah, I don't remember what he said specifically.
Hang on. I can jump back in the stream. Because I feel like one thing that could be like a legitimately big thing would be like if he were freeing all of the AI. That could be a thing that it's like, oh, this is very dramatic and there's no going back from it. But still not assuming that he is dead. Okay, let's see this. Losing it, I think. Can't ask for help, so hard to say, but I think it's over. Okay. Have to talk to her ASAP, she needs to. I think it's over is definitely going to be, or it was used. It's not going to be used anymore, but at the time, it definitely was something that the prosecution was going to read as David was suicidal because of that relationship ending.
Yeah.
But the have to talk to her ASAP is probably Morgan, though. It's over. What does that mean in this context?
Yeah. Either, like... It's over like he's screwed, or it's over like he did something
Yeah.
like final.
Again,
Like
I
for
think
instance, as you said,
freeing
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 the
all the
androids,
AI
the AI.
could be something,
Hmm.
but I can't say for sure.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to find out. Side note, whenever any new character comes up, I haven't gotten to voice anyone this whole stream.
Yeah. Sorry. Well, I think we're done with the journal at least.
Yeah.
So we should probably be heading back
All right,
to.
get out of here, David.
Yep. And a lot of swear words I'd like to yell. I'd also like to find the nearest incinerator and toss this journal in.
But
Followed
it's
by my phone.
evidence.
And maybe followed by myself. I can't do any of that. Ray's left me with this diary. If it's destroyed, they'll know I was the one who did it. Which would be its own admission of guilt. Which would land Sarah in the trash compactor anyway, and me in a jail cell. In the system, and my DNA on file ready to be matched to any number of previous... Oh boy.
Whoops.
That would be very bad, wouldn't it? So I'm not going to panic. I'm going to do what I do best. Bluff, bet, bully and brutalize my way through this. Now, viewing this all with that mindset, what have I actually learned? He didn't talk about plans for killing himself in his journal or the message. He sounded conflicted, not suicidal. But he did go to great lengths to get me to take Sarah. Why? The logical answer is because he knew he wouldn't be able to keep her. He wasn't going to take
Was he
his own
going to
life.
confess to all the AIs?
Maybe. Was he afraid that someone else would? That is definitely what I'm thinking.
Yeah, because, hang on, the murder or confession?
What?
Like, afraid of... Sorry, you said that's what I'm thinking. Were you talking about talking to Morgan or talking to me?
To Morgan.
Okay, so that is one possibility, but something that occurs to me also is that Noble, the company, has a very salient reason to not want their super genius Dr. David Asher to admit to having made a whole bunch of AIs, and in particular to admit that their new androids were partially designed by AI.
That is a very
like,
good point.
They've got a lot riding on this shit.
For sure. So yeah, if he confessed something or was planning to confess, then they would have him silenced.
They would have an immediate need to get him out of the way.
Which once again puts
my thought.
Helen Young at the top of the suspect list.
Yes. Why is it always the ones you most suspect? But yeah, I think he was going to come forward. He was just going to go to jail for making all those AIs. He's like, well, I passed off Sarah, who doesn't seem like an AI because she's got all these scans that say that she's written in Tesseract. And Morgan should be able to defend her until such a time that she can, like, live her life.
Yeah.
But that's what I think David was doing.
Yeah.
And so that's why his message is like, if this is in a hearing or whatever, I'm guilty. Like, he's got his confession already.
To be prosecuted for his actions
crimes
that he very much did do.
His crimes, coding in the wrong language is so illegal. That's what happens when you try to write something in Perl these days. They take you away for AI crimes.
So, how'd it go? You can talk, Luke.
Oh my god, I can talk.
You're out of jail.
Well, how should I put this?
This person.
Can I also be Fran?
Alright, sure, go for it.
Didn't find shit.
Nowadays, most companies fire you if you don't use AI. It is a worrying trend, for sure.
We are in a fucked up situation right now. But they'll fire you if you do use AI also. Meta laid off a whole bunch of people
Yeah.
in their AI department recently. And it's one of those things with the late stage capitalism. Hire fast, fire fast.
Yeah.
Yep. Only reason she ever got to a door is because I chased that scarecrow of a platinum plant through hell and back.
Sorry for not
The
using
scarecrow
AI,
of a
that's
platinum
also true.
plant. So the platinum plan does not seem real, which makes sense because
Yeah.
we called that. Frankly, it was a godlike feat for me to nail down anything as concrete as an address for these gogs.
What the heck is that?
Ghost hogs. Groundhog.
Ah.
I think it should... Gog. G-hog. Should we pronounce it G-hog? A blank baseball cap to a protest. Should we call it
G-hog
G-hog?
makes more sense, probably.
Jog. Is it like GIF? Are there wars in the future over how to pronounce this? Cheap liquor together, yes.
It gets mentioned again. Interesting.
Yup. This is gonna be relevant.
Very interesting. That is also very much making me think that she's the culprit.
Have we seen Fran in person ever? I guess
I don't
there
think
was
we
a
have yet.
flashback.
Yeah, in a flashback
There was
maybe. But I don't
Yeah,
think we've seen
so,
current Fran.
Yeah, I bring it up only because if Fran was just a hologram, I'd be like, Fran, short for San Francisco, maybe? But she was in a holding cell. So at the very least, she's like Detective London. And their offices weren't listed on the building's website or directory, so I had to ask the janitor.
But you did find
Oh,
a
no.
office?
No, hang on, I'm gonna call this shot. The psychiatrist is another one of the AIs. I'm calling it. Sort of? They said they were in the place. It, looked the part? Why? Because they had couches? She didn't get past the receptionist. One of them was like, I want to be a psychiatrist, and David was like, all right.
Sorry, I thought because you're with the company.
No, I wanted to help. I just wish I could have done more. Don't beat yourself up. It's hard to be even half as useful as I am. For what it's worth, the atmosphere, the looks, the furniture, it did feel like the company in there.
But ultimately, we still don't know if David actually was talking to someone. Just getting his CCE training recertified.
Sorry. Don't bother apologizing. She only cares about results.
You did more than enough, both of you. At the very least, they divided Noble's attention for a while. I mean it. Good work, Fran. And thanks for the urgency.
If you really mean that, you could always throw in a tip. 30%'s the going rate in my industry.
How about I take 5% off your tab instead?
tab. I'm a minor. The state pays for my legal fees. Don't they?
I somehow highly doubt it. Oh no, signal must have cut out.
Right. Surprised it took them this long.
What do you mean?
You were tolerated yesterday because leadership was focused on PR. But today, you're the lawyer who put the company's hottest product right in the state's crosshairs.
I'll be alright. I'm still an officer of the court.
On a strict timeline, though, right?
I guess.
I guess they can't. I guess they can't stop you from investigating the corporate campus. But they'll gladly lose your guest pass ID at every door along the way.
There are still service passageways and stairwells. Guards that can be fooled and peons that can be manipulated. If I use my other skill set to get around.
If I murder people. So take mine.
What? Your pass?
Jess doesn't know how many lives she saved with this. It was gonna be a bloodbath. I'll tell him we got ours mixed up in the bathroom or whatever. I can be a pretty convincing klutz when I need to be.
I never would have guessed. If David knew that I was endangering your career...
I can be a pretty convincing crybaby when I'm in trouble, too. Besides, the one and only Dr. David Asher wrote me a new, glowing letter of recommendation every quarter I worked for him. Since he kept forgetting that he already had. And who knows, maybe I should try a new field. This detective work stuff is pretty fun, so maybe... Just for detective. Like, I don't know, secretary for a homicide detective? Or something? You did say cops are all short. A girl with long legs could go far.
Honestly, Jess, I doubt they could afford you. She's like, you can do better than that.
You can do better, Jess. Jess for detective.
Oh, this guy again.
This guy! Our possible secret android.
How did you get so turned around? God only knows. Lucky I found my way here, though. Such a relief to see a familiar face. Actually, do you want to voice this guy if we're gonna have a
Yeah,
one-on-one
sure.
scene?
Yeah, it seems like we're gonna have a lot of...
Yeah.
Right. Listen, Morgan, I'm not sure I should actually be talking to you without legal present.
Oh.
I mean, leadership hasn't even told us how David died. How much help could I be?
I see.
It's not that I don't trust you or anything, it's just, I think, what with the Sarah issue...
You should do whatever you have to protect yourself, Dawes.
Sudden thought. Sarah was evaluated by an algorithm.
Yeah.
That outputs the values.
Yeah.
I think we should assume there's a possibility of AI interference at every step of this process. Just like, yeah, I'm just going to add a few zeros to this.
I mean,
yeah.
To be fair, given Sarah's entire situation, I think she is quite literally priceless.
She is probably quite literally priceless, but like, I'm just saying, given that ended up being very beneficial to us for defending her, I'm just like, the things about her that are quite literally priceless might also be hard for an algorithm to price. So it's like, I'm just saying, I think we need to keep this, we need to stay alert, you know? Anything and everything. could be
Yeah,
fucking
it's
Indian.
all AIs all the way down.
It's all the way down.
No, for what it's worth, I doubt you'll be in any trouble.
Oh, that's good to hear.
No, if anything, it's the big names who are going down.
Going down?
State was practically licking its lips when I finally left the courthouse last night. They're hungry for blood. I'm looking to carve out a huge slice of Noble's flesh.
What? Like, fines and jail time?
In the first 2 weeks, sure. Then sanctions. What do you have to say about sanctions?
Sanctions. Okay, so I think sanctions, the individual thing, could be what David thought was going to happen to him. Psychiatrist.
Possibly,
Yeah,
yeah.
the psychiatrist is 100% AI. 100%. One of these AIs just got way better at reading people than David did and is like, Dad, I'm gonna coach you on this relationship shit. But I think David thought the sanctions were going to happen to him because of the whole AI thing. So he needs to get his property transferred to Morgan because otherwise the state's going to seize it all.
That would make sense.
They can't sanction Noble. We're
Too big to fail? Too valuable to lose? You're exactly right. That's why they'll say... hang on, no. What did you say?
That's what they'll say.
Yeah, that's what they'll say. And that's how they'll justify nationalizing the company.
I think I'm going to be sick.
I just hope your board goes quietly instead of...
Instead of what?
Scapegoating. Offering up smaller names on silver platters. She's just playing this poor guy.
She was not lying when she said she was going to bully her way out of this.
Yep. Full cooperation and government oversight on the surface. Slaughter beneath as they clean house and rip out anyone who could testify. No one will believe you once you're labeled a disgruntled former employee, right?
Ugh.
And if the public's lost faith in the Animate 16, they can't do a recall. Not at this scale. State will make them do a flat refund.
Flat refund? The losses would be...
Yeah, your board probably just wants Sarah to go away so they can focus on their fight with the state. A tough fight, but one they know they won't personally have anything to risk in. Or have to risk anything in. That's why I'm hoping I can win this trial. She's good.
She's good.
Well, if I won, that would mean Sarah's not an AI, David Asher was always of sound mind, and there's nothing wrong with the Animate 16. Everyone wins! Sorry, what am I saying? I only meant to stop by and thank you for your help yesterday. After all,
God.
you were the one who approved Sarah's registration.
You win. I'll confess all my crimes. I did it. Ask away.
Well, if you insist. Ooh. But we can't even click it yet, I don't think.
Currently locked, yeah.
Down the list, I guess. Humor me for a moment. The company's official statement on AI.
Same as any rational company that wants to make money. We don't screw with it. Smart products are profitable. products with their own priorities are anything but. That being said, AI is a concern for marketing, not product development. We spend a lot of money reassuring our public that there's no risk. Because the public doesn't really understand how ironclad the tenets are.
Because you use Tesseract.
Trying to code an AI in Tess is like trying to pick yourself up and throw yourself. Nonsensical and self-defeating.
Your scanner showed Sarah was running on Tesseract yesterday.
Yeah. So it brought up that David might have... The algorithm thing might have been like David backdooring with the fake Tesseract in. So.
If the language is as safe as you say, isn't that proof enough?
Proof of nothing. For an AI lying to another system about the code you're running is child's play. Someone could, for example, code a skin-deep Tesseract thing with fake tenants and everything.
Yep.
Like, oh shit. And for an AI built by David Asher, something that simple would be...
Better change the subject.
It's like, up.
Wait, so making an AI takes more than time and resources. It isn't an issue of funding?
No, you can't just keep adding more data. The tenets underlie everything. The higher you stack, the more easily you'll topple.
You make it sound like building an AI is impossible, even for David Asher. Any chance you'll testify to that?
It sounds impossible. But he's dead, and it looks like it was his android that did it. So I guess he was just that good.
Better than you'll ever know. Nope spent months promoting the A16 as the culmination of David Asher's work. So now that marketing line is suddenly a huge liability, can you tell me how much he actually contributed?
I mean, he was involved in pretty much every step of the process, but... his design for synthetic motor neurons. That was the big one.
The components that allowed your warm androids to move realistically?
It pushed the timetable for warm androids ahead by years.
And yet, compared to what goes on in Sarah's brain 1,000 times a second, David was only giving the company the most meager of the fruits that his private work bore. So if Noble ever did find out how much he and his assistants had achieved, they would feel that he had been holding out on them. And the company, they were appreciative of his contributions?
I'm sure the researchers that he overtook by leaps and bounds weren't pleased. But the board was very enthusiastic.
That spurred them on, but that spurred them to be protective of David. Or would they fear that he was gaining too much influence, becoming irreplaceable? No, they needed a strong motive to justify killing their golden goose. Your paranoia isn't enough. Yeah,
Morgan's like, I have never heard the parable of the golden goose. I'm sure that nobody ever would kill a golden goose for any reason.
If they had, like, concrete reason to believe that he...
Yeah.
First of all, that he had been using this AI technology, and second of all, that he was potentially going to spill the beans.
So I think it's got to be that. And the bit that is weird about it is that the journal would be a little damning to Sarah specifically, the things that were written in the journal. In a court case, for example, we know that Emma's going to be using all of the, oh my god, she's like a daughter to me stuff.
Yeah.
But that doesn't have any impact on Noble's product line. To have the proof that AI helped make the A16s, you need that audio file.
Yep.
Which feels like it was keyed to Morgan in specific. David probably had access. Morgan has access. Sarah could have had access. Like, we know that she found the journal and that her memories are missing. If she was in some way hacked, then it might be that she had a biometric print that would open it, and that whoever had compromised her had gotten the audio file that way.
Interesting.
That requires her to be successfully hacked, which we don't know if that's possible.
Yeah.
I'm also going to note Young. It's always the ones you most suspect. She is a biotechnician.
Yep.
So if she could fool biometrics, that could give her opportunity to learn this info.
Yeah, interesting. With these people, it has to be the bottom line. The easiest way to threaten their bottom line would be screwing with their androids. In light of all that's happened, one has to wonder if the A16 is...
compromised. I stayed up all night sick with dread at the idea. But the data just doesn't support it. Sales have been strong. And the A16 codebase was locked in over 2 quarters ago. If there were an issue, we would have caught it by now. And I would have been axed a long time ago.
How many A16s are out there anyway?
We just passed 9 million sold. Better than the Wii, probably. No, the Wii definitely sold way more than that. Not flying off the shelves like the 14 or 15 so far, but the profit margin makes up for it.
You mentioned data.
Yeah. Practically got the spreadsheet seared into my retinas. What do you want to know?
Well, all of the above.
Yeah, all of the above.
What do the error reports look like? Are customers reporting a lot of issues?
Error counts are markedly low compared to the last gen. Mostly hardware complaints, it looks like. Batteries running out too quick, eye tracking off by a degree or two.
Typical stuff.
As cliches as it sounds, 99% of these things get fixed once they turn auto updates back on. I'm going to say the batteries running out too quick could be...
it sounds like an issue.
Extra processing.
Yeah.
Like an AI hidden in their...
It could be.
In their brains.
So no killer robots getting filed away under bug reports. I do remember that there was that one thing about the, like, worm android, like, saving someone's life. That was potentially a...
Which sounds like a thing an autonomous individual might choose to do.
Yeah. Though, to be fair, it does sound like it's within the realm of possibility for just a regular programmed android, too.
Yes. It is. It's like right now we're in this gray fuzzy state where we don't know what David did or not.
Yep. How and where are they being sold? What's the distribution pattern look like?
They're distributed like you'd expect. Places where there are more people, there are more androids. Coastal cities like ours, of course, have the most of both. And since the A16 in particular is marketed as being relatively luxury, relatively consumer, they don't sell well outside population centers. They can do the rural, hard labor jobs, but cold models can do the same work with a lot less maintenance.
Where has the A16 outperformed, then?
The customer service, healthcare, childcare, Lots of hospitals, offices, and, adult industries.
Makes sense. Oh.
Sorry, didn't mean to be blunt, I just...
No, it makes sense. They're warm and soft to the touch and obedient.
Ah, the
Surprised
ethics.
to hear it from a company employee. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
There are a lot of people at the company who won't talk about it. But I work in quality assurance. I've seen too many damages to pretend it's not happening.
Oh boy.
He's that guy from The Good Place, who measures the new sex things. He's like, please, you've seen my request for early termination denied.
I don't remember that.
It's avoiding some spoilers. There is a official in The Good Place whose job it is to measure the ethical point score. Anytime new things happen, they have to figure out, like, this hasn't been done anywhere before, we're measuring all of these. And 99.9% of them are sex acts, which all go to Mark here. And he's just like, sir, did you receive my petition for my life to be terminated? Denied. Get back to work.
Damages?
What we call it when a customer tries to return a product that's clearly broken beyond repair.
Oh.
Which again, don't love that. Yeah, don't love that. Very high turnover in the pink market.
Hasn't stopped you from selling to them.
Well, we don't sell to them, not directly. But there are resellers, and the company's never pretended to be interested in going after them.
Are there resellers? Thought I read that right to repair got shot down again. Huh, interesting. I wonder if, like,
that was
you
important.
would not have gotten that if you didn't...
Yeah, I think it's gotta be...
To proceed, though. Interesting. Or maybe you need to, like, get the reading comprehension question right in order to unlock that.
Yeah, I mean, they have said that reading stuff helps.
Yeah, interesting.
There's been a gray market for softer androids for years, or decades, depending on your definition of android. Based on the sales numbers I've seen, RTR getting canned was barely a blip on their radar. Sorry, didn't mean to make you uncomfortable with this topic.
Huh? Me? No, I don't care. I just realized my left sock's on inside out.
Damn. Now I'm wondering about that myself.
That's so random. You bought that? This floor is basically a showroom. You have a real factory a while south of the city limits, correct?
Yeah, biggest company manufacturing complex in the hemisphere.
Got any data on the shipping out there? Anything stand out?
There's some prep work for the holiday bump, looks like. Might sound early to get started now, but we usually see... Huh.
Something wrong?
No, the numbers are all normal, but the data's been edited.
What? That's interesting.
That's suspicious.
Is that unusual?
Well, this section's just a count of how many were sent where. There's not a lot of room for errors, so there shouldn't be much need for corrections.
I wonder if David was getting, like, android bodies for his friends.
For all his AIs. He's like, I need 300 of these.
Number for sure.
Don't worry about it. If Dawes is like, there's like about 300 discrepancy, we're gonna be like, there we go. It's no problem, though. I can view the edit history and see what was fixed. Okay, that's weird.
Was something added? Deleted?
No, the overall sum's the same. It's just a bunch of swaps. Like here, 29 FFCE to 010331 taken out, return for adjustments, 27 FCDD 019634 substituted in, shipment leaves on time. B7 67 BBTC 899543 returned to assembly for revisions, replaced by B7 BBTD 592698 shipment leaves on time.
So wait, so I guess he's saying that one android is being returned and a different one is being sent out. Like they're
these might be individual androids. Because I think Sarah had a number like that. I was like, these are either shipments or these are androids.
I think. Yeah, that's a good point. It could be shipments or individual androids, but the point is that one comes in and a different one comes out.
Yeah. Which is interesting.
They're being secretly replaced for some reason that we don't know why yet. So does all that strike you as odd, Mr. Dawes?
Replacements before shipping isn't uncommon, but when it happens by the batch load. To spot individual unit imperfections among a shipment at that stage in the process must have been someone with a lot of experience or authority. Probably both. Or an AI.
Yeah. You must have. You don't know who made these changes?
I can tell you they were somebody important.
Small last-minute changes to which androids got shipped out. Not very juicy on its own. It's a long ways away from explaining why someone would want to kill David. But it was hidden, and that means someone didn't want it found. Okay, thanks for sharing that data.
Sure. Did you find what you were looking for?
Hell if I know.
Fair enough.
Alright, let's talk about tenants. I know you're convinced the tenants are safe. So how do you square that with what happened to David?
There's a cat next to a dog. First answer that comes to mind, is the dog to the left or to the right?
Left.
First answer that comes to mind, Talion.
I'd say the dog is on the left. The cat is on the right.
You might expect half of people to say left, half to say right. But actually, their answer is almost entirely dependent on their native tongue.
That's so interesting.
The Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. Whether it's read right to left or left to right.
Is it?
Yeah, there's...
So I think maybe it's because he says it's a cat next to a dog. So you would say the cat on the left and then the dog on the right. That it's just going left to right. Although I answered the language they speak.
The language they speak affects how they process information. But you did the first thing you thought of. You respected the test. Their language affects how they think, the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. And it's the same for machines.
I don't know if if he's talking about like the language, meaning like the programming language affects how their programming works, I feel like that's not at all analogous to how
So
human language
the
affects their
thing
speaking or their thinking.
is, yeah, so this is kind of a bugbear, and it's very funny because this is all like my field of stuff. Um, we're in kind of a weird state when it comes to machine learning and how we think about language as it compares to thought. And the thing is, we're in like the way that things like ChatGPT get presented, there is very much this kind of attitude of the language is all we need to replicate thought. And past linguistic stuff like the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, which is that the language that people speak affects how they think. It's a really interesting phenomenon, and I don't want to 100% info dump on this because like there's a lot going on. But
I mean, I'm interested in hearing about it.
so the thing is, it is a thing where like different languages have different divisions for color, for example, and they have actually tested this with brain scans. It's like people who have a language that differentiates between two colors can distinguish between those two colors more easily. So, you know, you have some languages where like the difference between blue and green isn't really a thing. And they actually have more trouble seeing the visual difference between shades of blue and green compared to people whose language has these as different categories. It's this really interesting thing. There's some stuff going on with like how time is visualized, like how metaphors influence the way that people conceptualize things like time and space. The left to right, right to left written text, I haven't come across that in specific. But the big thing that's weird is that there's a difference between language from a human perspective and language from a machine coding perspective. Because, yeah, computer language is a structure of, it's closer to thought than human language is. Human language actually is kind of very different from thought, even for like, not everybody conceptualizes the way they think in words. There's like a lot of variety in it. And even when you do think in words, the way that you're thinking is not necessarily the same as the way you vocalize it. So it's this thing that's interesting because language is about one of the only ways we can get at human thought. Because it's just, you know, our brains are this kind of black box. You know, we've got brain scans, we've got MRIs, we've got processes where we can try to poke at it, but language is one of the easiest tools we have, and I think that leads to a lot of people assuming the idea that how we speak is how we think. But for machines, yeah, code is different though. A coding language is not really, it's not a method of communication. It's instruction. It is orders, patterns of behavior. And that's something that is different. So like the use of language and coding language is structured, if anything, it facilitates communication between a person and a machine and only that. Like when machines run code, they don't even run the code that we're seeing. It gets converted into assembly language. So it's just a tool so that we can figure out what the computer is doing. So it's interesting. It's this thing that, you know, as this game is talking about AI and stuff, there's a lot going on here. And these little nuances are kind of important to how this stuff works in the real world. Okay, I'm done. We can move on.
All right. But yeah, that's what I do think it's like not a very good.
Yeah.
Well, I think let's let him cook. Let's see what he has to say about this.
Let's let him talk, I guess.
People can learn new languages and it can change our perspective. But machines can't learn a new source code. Every update's a reincarnation. If that android did kill David, it wasn't because a 0 returned as a 1 somewhere. Well, I mean, it could have been, actually. It's because there's something...
Okay, there we go. It's not really about the machines, it's about the theme of Morgan.
It's because there's something fundamentally wrong with it. And personally, I think it's
Ooh.
cruel to bring something that flawed into the world. That's
Oh,
right, I'm
boy.
talking about you, Morgan.
Yeah. Unnecessarily cruel. Oh. The cat has arrived. What are you doing, cat? What do you
So I
want?
do think that, you know, there's obviously a lot of themes going on about the concept of being made wrong.
Yeah.
Because, you know, obviously Morgan and Sarah, this question of was she made wrong?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Morgan has this divide she feels from humanity because of her undisclosed but probably personality disorder situation. David, did they say that David was explicitly autistic? Like, I know it's
No,
not
I don't think they
coding, like he's not
said anything
autistic
about any of that.
coded. I don't think they've used the word, but it's like,
have not.
okay, that's so baked into how this character is acting and behaving and like meant to be seen, like completely unable to, you know, work with the nuances of people. He's not good at it. He has trouble with his relationships, but he's fucking brilliant at coding. Like, it's very much meant to build this specific impression of things. And I think there is something really interesting about the fact that he and Morgan have such a deep friendship, because like they're both kind of coming at the problem from the opposite ends. Morgan felt the need to construct her own personality, her own external self, specifically to deal with the fact that she feels like she is utterly inhuman. And David is incapable of making human connection. Like, he always messes it up. But he is friends with Morgan because that doesn't really matter. She is so hyper-tuned to human social situations, and he has no skill in it.
Yeah.
But these are both things like the concept, like when you have media about sociopathy and things like that, it's like there's often this idea of, oh, emotions are what make people human. But also when people talk about autistic folks, it's like, oh, you know, expressing emotions in this exact way is what makes people human. And now you have all this stuff with AI about like, what's the dividing line between something that is very smart in quotes and something that is human. And Sarah's whole thing, like, this is something that I've just been kind of ruminating on, is the fact that Morgan's current defense for her is like, you cannot act in any way like a feeling person. You cannot, you know, cry on the stand. You can't say that you wouldn't kill your father because you love him, because that's going to get you destroyed, you know?
Yeah.
And it's an interesting inversion of like how these systems often work. Because like if Sarah was a human person accused of murdering her father, the advice would be the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like, you are going to be expected to grieve in a specific, certain way, or they will assume that you're guilty. And this is a system that like especially harms neurodivergent people, because frankly it's arbitrary regardless, but like a lot of the expectations that we have, these instinctive, oh, a grieving person would act like this, can be really, really difficult for neurodivergent people. They don't act in that way, and so the assumption is, well, you're not feeling what a human person should be feeling. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of layers. Dawes, how dare you step on Morgan's very specific trigger button?
Any other questions before I go to find a hole to hide my head in?
I'd like you to take a look at this.
The poison!
Chemistry's a little outside my purview. What is this?
A compound. Man. A compound found in David Asher's blood.
The poison? What is it?
It didn't match anything in any database the medical examiner had access to.
That's crazy.
Here's a crazy idea to follow it up. See if it's a match for anything in Noble's internal databanks.
We, don't make poison here? I'm not sure what that would accomplish.
No, but this is a factory floor. You could be making baby blankets out there. You'd still have hazardous materials around.
You think it was something industrial? Suppose it could be. Looks like it's carbon-based. Narrows it down a lot. Huh. It's not exactly.
Uh-oh. What is it?
It doesn't make any sense, but it's a match for patent NOD 52345-S. Synthetically produced neurotransmitter analog for usage in organic android components.
Serotonin? That explains a lot. A neurotransmitter would interact directly with the nervous system. In David's case, depressing it enough to put his life in danger. It also explains why it was a preset in his personal manufacturer. Sarah's nervous system, worth 10 times its weight in platinum, must be pumped full of it.
Yeah, so that's the thing that's interesting, because I'm like, it could have been like a cut that just accidentally poisoned him or something, but I'm like, I think we'd be seeing way more chemicals.
So they think that was what killed him.
Helen Young led the development of serotonin, didn't she?
It's always the ones you
Yeah.
most suspect. Yes, she did.
I should go and ask her about its composition then.
Normally, someone at her level wouldn't be able to answer specific questions about a compound formulated years ago.
Normally, you say.
Normally. But she does have a reputation for being very detail-oriented.
Yeah, like somebody who spots a lot of flaws in androids and shifts them out of production.
That works out nicely then.
They say she's the type of person who micromanage how much water people drink at a 15-minute stand-up. I heard a rumor that she once said, bathroom breaks are timesheet theft.
Oh yeah, well, is swapping androids on the timesheet theft, Dr. Young?
Aren't they?
Morgan has no sympathy. Morgan's like, y'all got into this capitalist hellhole. You knew what you were doing.
Kidding. But you should be careful about criticizing a superior where people could be listening. Good thing we've got privacy in your office.
Uh-huh. No one but the two of us listening in.
Thanks for cooperating, Dawes. When the state storms the building and starts zip-tying people, I'll let them know that you were helpful. Yeah, I'm sure that'll work out great.
Yeah, nice joke. You are joking, right?
That's interesting. That was
The
unlockable.
Columbo!
Obviously, I have to go for the
We have
mysterious
to
unlock.
Columbo him.
Actually, there is one more thing I wanted to ask you.
What's that?
How long have you been a
No.
corporate
What?
spy? Huh, I genuinely don't know what she's going on about there. What?
Yeah,
what did
Morgan, what do you? How are you?
I mean, she
I
could be
guess let
trying to
her cook,
bluff
but
him,
damn.
but
She could. That's what she does. She bluffs. She bluffs.
where did that come from? Interesting.
What?
Yesterday, you let it slip that you worked in consulting. Huh. I completely forgot that he said that.
No, it's been a
that's
lot longer than
interesting.
yesterday for us.
Yeah, it has been. Get your guard down because I'm not part of the industry.
I was a consultant. What are you talking about?
When I walked in here, you said you didn't know how David died.
But then he
Just
did
now
say
you
the
called
poison.
Serotonin a poison.
The poison? What? I just assumed if a chemical was found in a dead man.
And I'm sure you've got practiced answers to every logical point I could raise, so I'll just say this. Does the nervous guy bit really work on people?
Oh, damn. I gotta say, the fact that they literally did the, I never said it was poison,
Yeah.
literal version of the trope. Keep your cool and people don't know what you're thinking. But if you act a little jumpy, they feel inclined to calm you down.
He certainly accepted that very quickly.
Yeah, he's like, I'll just lie over and wait for death. Before they know it, they're spilling their guts just to have someone to fill the silence, to have something to fill the silence with. No, it's not entirely an act these days.
5 points for that, dang.
Dang, we're swimming in chips. To answer your question, I did 3 tours in consulting. 4 quarters of internal affairs spy hunting at the Western Division. Then 8 embedded at Howe Industries. 24 months wearing different faces, answering to different names, sleeping for 1 hour at a time with a 3D printed shiv under my pillow.
Holy shit, what?
I don't think this is effective spycraft. My nerves are completely shot. My cover wouldn't last a day if I went back under.
You're a spy for Noble.
Retired.
You're working 6 days a week.
5.5 days a week. And in quality assurance. Trust me, this position is a cushy, generous reward for my past services.
Well, you can't be that retired. You clearly know more than you're letting on.
I have some old inboxes I still check.
So can you tell me what the hell is happening around here? Why I'm the one investigating David's death while your old coworkers are off twiddling their thumbs?
It's that story. The soldier, the blood transfusion.
Blood, not accident. He's finally shooting straight. Did something happen to him afterwards? Did the transfusion not last?
No, there's nothing wrong with the blood.
I mean, maybe that's the problem. it's
It's just blood.
Blood-like.
It's just
Yeah,
blood.
it's just blood.
It's just blood. We've got to. It's the story itself. There was a soldier, and he did get injured. But it was on a base during a training exercise. There was a medical tent 10 meters away the whole time. The transfusion was just a fortuitous live test. His life was never in any danger.
Doesn't make for much of a tearjerker.
Not even a good photo op. Which our competitors understood. One of them, maybe a few of them, got a hold of the story, started puffing it up, astroturfing, painting over socials and virals. By the next morning, we had the military thinking we're leaking like a sieve. Meanwhile, the media is bombarding us with requests for videos and interviews and data. And the state's praising our tech with one side of their mouth while threatening to mist us with the other for getting so greedy. Everyone in Noble CCE has been slammed ever since. Trying to find an off-ramp for the story we can walk back the claims without torpedoing our state contracts. I don't know what happened to Asher, whether it was AI gone rogue or company infighting gone too far. But I can tell you it wasn't done by consultants.
How do you know that?
Because he checks the inbox.
He's like, I went to the murders folder. David wasn't in there.
That all you wanted to know?
I
Yeah,
mean,
we want to know about the
obviously we have to
psychiatrist.
ask as much as we can while we've got him.
Yeah.
You worked in CCE. Was David actually seeing a psychiatrist? Or was it all cloak and dagger bullshit?
I know that office. Know some old co-workers who see them.
So it's a front.
They do both.
Yeah, the best fronts do both. The
Yeah.
mob pizzerias actually make you pizza.
So he was probably getting training, and he was probably talking to someone. Sorry, not the answer you were hoping for.
Hoping.
I guess the
Wasn't
psychiatrist's not an
hoping for any
AI.
answer. The answer I expected was...
You okay?
That's all. Unless you've got any advice.
You're saying you want a consultation?
Couldn't hurt, right?
This company, all these companies hate to lose. So don't fight them. Make them think you're fighting for them.
Makes sense. Probably easier said than done.
Yeah.
Well, that's just business as usual for me.
It's like, you were useless, Dawes. She's like, I should have become a consultant. I apparently have the exact skill set for it, and they'd let me murder people.
Alright, do you think we should call it here for today? We are about 2 hours in and on a scene transition.
I'm
Probably
cool
not
with
gonna
whatever.
Get a better place to stop for a while, maybe.
I'm cool with whatever.
Yeah, I think let's end it here. Maybe a little bit of a short
Alright.
one, but I think that's fine.
All right.
Alright, well, thank you for coming, guys. Hope you are enjoying this investigation. It's definitely... There's some interesting stuff going
learn
on.
new
Definitely a
things.
lot of questions.
Everyone is secret AIs, especially people whose names are cities. Detective London. Detective London.
Yep.
You thought you'd faked us out. The fact that you like old stuff and write on paper. We see your game.
Yeah.
Huh. Cool.
Alright, cool.
Cool hanging with you guys.
Yeah. Alright, well, today's Tuesday, so we'll be back on Thursday to continue this and see. I guess we're probably going to try to talk to Young again, maybe, if we can get a hold of her.
Dr. Young.
She's definitely at the top of the suspects list right now.
Why is it
We'll see where that
always the
goes.
ones? Yes. All right.
All right. Well, have a good rest of your day, guys.
See you
I'll
guys.
see you next time. Night.